Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi everyone, I'm Sylvie. Today I would like to tell you about critical reading. In my video, I would like to give you some information what critical reading is. Okay, what is critical reading? Reading critically does not necessarily mean being critical of what you read. Critical reading means engaging in what you read by asking yourself questions such as what is the author trying to say? Or what is the main argument being presented? Okay, so critical reading is a technique for discovering information and ideas within a text. Critical readers thus recognize not only what a text says, but also how the text portrays the subject matter. They recognize the various ways in which each and every text is a technique creation of a unique author. With to non-critical readers, texts provide facts. They gain knowledge by memorizing the statement within a text. This is a surface level of learning and will not get you very far at all in your research, which has to be an in-depth understanding of your subject. When non-critical reading is being satisfied with recognizing what a text says and restating the key remarks, critical reading goes 3 steps further. Having recognized what a text says, it reflects on what the text does by making such remarks. Is it offering example, arguing, appealing for sympathy, a contrast to clarify a point? Finally, critical readers then infer what the text as a whole means based on the earlier analysis. What are the goals of critical readings? Textbooks on critical reading commonly ask students to accomplish certain goals, like to recognize an author purpose, to understand tone and persuasive elements, and to recognize bias. So here it's been that we should know that what is the author said in the reading text. What is the purpose of the authors want to say something in the text? And then the critical reader should know the tones of the persuasive elements in the text. And of course, to know the bias of the statements in the text. Notice that none of these goals actually refers to something on the page. It requires inferences from evidence within the text. For example, recognizing the purpose involved inferring a basis for choices of content and language. So here it is. We should know and what kind of content and language and style of language that the author choose when she or he write a text. And recognizing tone and persuasive elements involve classifying the nature of language choices. This is very important when we try as a critical reader to know the nature of language the author chooses. And the last, recognizing bias involves, it means that recognizing bias involves classifying the nature of patterns of choice of content and language. So it means that here the authors, what kind of content he or she want to provide in her or in his text, and what kind of language styles the writer use in the text. So we as a critical reader should know and should criticize what the authors means. Okay, yeah. Here is the tools of critical readings. Critical reading is designed to show what to look for analysis and how to think about what you find, or here inference. The first part, what to look for analysis, what to look for analyzing, involve recognizing this aspect of discussion that control the meaning. And then the second part, how to think about what you find, involve the process of inference, the interpretation of data from within the text. So when we try to read the text or the pages, after we read and after we finish reading the text, we should be able to interpret or to find the message in the text, or what kind of message the author writes. Okay. Next, now we want to discuss critical reading and critical thinking. The kinds of the terminology always go by side by side. And we can distinguish between critical reading and critical thinking in the following way. We can say that critical reading is a technique for discovering informations and ideas within the text. So it means that here we can say that when we try to criticize the reading, we know the technique how to discover information and idea in the text. Okay, and then critical reading is a technique for evaluating information and ideas for deciding what to accept and believe. This is talking about a technique to evaluate information, how the reader try to evaluate information based on the text, and how to find the ideal based on the text. So we can decide this is kind of belief or not. So it means that when we try to criticize the reading text, we try to make a good evaluation about the message based on the text. And we can say critical reading refers to a careful, active, reflective, analytic reading. Then critical thinking involves reflecting on the validity of what you have read in light of our prior knowledge and understanding of the world. So this is very crucial one when we try to criticize the reading text as a critical readers. We should be able to make reflections about the understanding of the world. Okay. Mm. For As a critical reader, you should reflect on what the text says. After critically reading a piece, you should be able to take notes, paraphrasing in your own word the key point. So you should be able to do that. And what the text describes, yeah, you should be able or you should be confident that you have understood the text sufficiently to be able to use your own examples and compare and contrast with other writing on the subject in hand, right? And then interpretation of the text. Yeah, this means that you should be able to fully analyze the next text and state a meaning for the text as a whole. So yeah, we can say that critical reading means being able to reflect on what a text says, what it describes, and what it means by, yeah. So we can say that critical reading means being able to reflect on what a text says, what it describes, and what it means by searching something or yeah, to recognize the styles and structure of the writings, the language used, as well as the contents. Okay, then critical thinking is an extension of critical reading. Nah, ini nanti dimasukkan ke dalam critical reading and critical reading versus critical thinking ya, Bi? Okay. Critical thinking is an extension of critical readings. Thinking critically in the academic sense involves being open-minded, using judgment and discipline to process what you are learning about without letting your personal bias or opinion detract from the argument. So here he is in how do we make sense to one of the message based on the text. So this is one of our skill to push ourselves to know in the depth of the meaning based on the text. Yeah, we have to criticize the reading text. While critical thinking involves being rational and aware of your own feelings on the subject, being able to recognize our thoughts, prior knowledge, and understanding to accommodate new ideas or viewpoints. Yeah, in critical thinking, we have to be able to have, yeah, let's say that it depends on our prior knowledge. If we give some text but we never know before, it's really difficult. It's a little bit difficult to understand the text. But on the other hand, if we know before, our prior knowledge really master about it, I think it's really easy to understand the passage or the text. Yeah. We can say that critical reading and critical thinking are therefore the very foundation of true learning and personal development. So this is one of the capability for a person to understand or to criticize the text, include analyze and include interpret or to make an interpretation of the text. Okay, next. Okay. Example. Consider the following, or let's say that this is a somewhat humorous sentence from student's essay. Parents are buying expensive cars for their kids to destroy them. Okay, parents are buying expensive cars for their kids to destroy them. As the terms are used here, critical reading is concerned with figuring out whether within the context of the text as a whole, them refers to the parents, the kids, or the cars, and whether the text support that practice, right? And we should be able to criticize what the mean of terms, who actually, and what of them. It could be refers to the parents, the kids, or the cars, and whether the text supported practice. Yeah, critical thinking would come into play when deciding whether the chosen meaning was indeed true, and whether or not you, as the reader, should support that practice. So by these definitions, critical reading would appear to come before a critical thinking, and only once we have fully understood a text or critical reading can we truly evaluate its assertions or critical thinking. Yeah, so we should know a critical reading, then critical thinking. Critical reading and critical thinking. Yeah. Next, we can think of a writer as having taken a job. No matter what the topic, certain tasks must be done. So here it is, reading critically. How well does the text do what it does? Yeah. So again, I said just now, we can think of a writer as having taken a job. No matter what the topic, certain tasks must be done. Yeah, let's say a specific topic must be addressed, terms must be clearly defined, evidence must be presented, common knowledge must be accounted for, exception must be explained, causes must be shown to precede effect and to be capable of the effect. And we can conclude must be shown to follow logically from earlier argument and evidence. Again, reading critically, how well does the text do what it does? Specific topic must be addressed, term must be clearly defined, and then evidence must be presented, common knowledge must be accounted for, and then exception must be explained, cause must be shown to precede effects and to be capable of the effects. Yeah. And then we can conclude must be shown. The conclusion must be shown to follow logically from earlier argument and evidence. Yeah, as critical readers and writers, we want to assure ourselves that these tasks have been completed in a complete, comprehensive, and consistent manner. Only once we have determined that a text is consistent and coherent can we then begin to evaluate whether or not to accept the assertion and conclusion. Okay, yeah, okay everyone, I think that's all my video, and the other video I will try to explain more deeply. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye.